welcome to the next video in my sim cockpit playlist. It's time to DIY again. I've been missing it. I've almost for a year haven't done any DIY stuff really on my rig, so it's time again. As you might know, this wheel here, this is probably the wheel I use the most for all the GT cars, and lately also in Codemasters Dirt Rally. It's a great wheel, I like it. I mean, apart from all that dirty stuff here, and there's a lot of wear and tear on the suede. But in the beginning I tried to clean it every time, but yeah, at some point I just gave up, and it is how it is. Anyway, I like this wheel, but there's a couple of things that I've always had a problem with. First and foremost, it's not round. I mean, I ordered it because I liked it and it wasn't round, but for the rally stuff lately, I need a round wheel. I mean, I'd like to have a round wheel. So yeah, I have bought this one here. It's a QSP Rally 300 flat. It's also 300 millimeters in diameter as the other one, but as you can see, it's round. It's also very light, and I think it looks cool. It's definitely not a high quality wheel, but it's very good quality for the price, which is around 70 to 80 euros. Yeah, I like it, but that's not enough, of course. I will add the quick release with this wheel, of course. I will use this one because I've ordered another one, but it's still not here. I think it comes from Hong Kong or something. I don't know. But on top of that, I will add a couple of buttons and a self-made button plate. Yeah, I like to do things myself, and this is a new challenge. I haven't done this yet. Speaking of challenge, the way I wanted to do this initially was a friend of mine gave me this here, which is a very small piece. I don't know if it's in frame somewhere here. Small piece of carbon fiber, not laminated anything. It's just a little piece, and I wanted to make my own piece of carbon fiber sheet, laminate it myself, and yeah, and make the button plate out of that. But for several reasons I decided otherwise in the end, because it's not easy. It's quite dirty, and it's not something you want to do when you don't have a workshop. I do all of these things in my apartment basically, and it's the epoxy stuff which you need to use to laminate the thing is highly toxic, and also I think the carbon fiber itself. And then you have a plate which has to be of a substantial thickness that it has stability, and then it's quite hard to cut, as I've read. And the dust is very toxic again, and so on. So I've decided against that. Maybe later on I will do that at some point, but not now. So plan B is aluminium, or aluminum, as some people say. I think it's American, British, I don't know. Aluminum, I think, is American. I don't know. Anyway, aluminum, 1.5 millimeters thick. This will be the base for the button plate, and on top of that I will put a very thin layer of carbon fiber. It's real carbon fiber, but only 0.3 millimeters thick, and as you see, it's very easy to bend. Should work fine, and I'll again use epoxy to stick the things together, but I should be fine with that, I think. We'll see. And of course I need a USB controller of some sort, or any means to connect the buttons that I will put on the button plate to connect them to the computer. Usually you would do that with some sort of USB controller, like in the F1 wheel, which should be somewhere here. In this case it was the display. It's also a USB controller, but there are also small USB controllers that I used, for example, in pedals or any other stuff, or not only for sim racing stuff. I think there are even USB controller boards that are so small, which would work fine on a button plate like this. But I will do it differently. I still have this one here. This is the circuit board from the original circuit board from the F1 wheel, and I hope it still works. Yeah, this will be the basis for all my buttons to connect, and then I will run, I think this is the connector, I think so, yes. Still have all the plugs, and I will solder wires to them and use a 15-pin sub-D VGA connector as usual to connect all of this, because I was smart enough when I modded the wheelbase, as you can see in the first video of this playlist, in the My Sim Cockpit, that guy went crazy, I think it's titled. I was smart enough back then that to also wire the connections for original Thrustmaster wheels. So this should work in theory. I still don't know if the encoders and the switches that where the connectors where the D-pads were connected to initially, if all of that will work as I have planned it, but I hope so. And this is the reason why usually button plates go behind the wheel somewhere here, and you can only see this part of the button plate, which is not covered by the wheel itself, and then behind that you have the electronics or quick release and so on, or shifter pedals. But in my case, since I want to mount this big board here, and also I want to have the wheel, or let's say the quick release should be right here. I don't want to have any sort of distance here, like with this wheel here. You can see it's right there. The reason is on my rig I can't move the wheel deck anymore. It's all bolted together, and for stability reasons, and I can't move anything basically. I can sort of move the pedal plate, but yeah, it's not easy. So to have a ergonomically correct seating position, I can't really have a wheel that adds a lot of distance in this way. So it would be like that. And which sort of would be that big of a deal if I mount it here. But as you know, okay, I'm back. But as you know, I have this here, or I might know this extension sort of with pedal shifters. This is part of my old Logitech G25, and I use this as an add-on, so to speak, for cars like the GT3 cars, except the McLaren. They all have pedal shifters. I mean, the McLaren has them too, but I use the F1 wheel with that one. So I can use this, and when I mount this here, you can see it adds like, I don't know, 6-7 centimeters, something like that. And this is already very close to me, so anything that goes in between that adds too much and wouldn't be comfortable anymore. So, long story short, this is the reason why I can't mount anything on the back. I will mount the button plate at the front. So like here, this is where the circuit board will go. And so, aluminium, mount this here some way, and then like this. yeah, that's the plan. Good fun. So I hope this all goes well and I don't hurt myself. Again, very important. This is just a hobby. I'm no professional in any way in these things. Don't take this as a tutorial of some sort. Please be careful if you try something similar at home. Some of the stuff I do here, I do for the first time. I just try them, and most of the time they work, but I'm sure there are some things that aren't 100% safe, so I can't recommend them. Yeah, so be careful. Anyway, let's do this. Alright, as you could see, as a first step I made this cardboard mock-up. No computer, no CAD here, just me, cardboard and pencil. And my eyes basically. I hope this doesn't look too bad so far. I think this will be okay. I already know, of course, where I will place the buttons, generally. Yeah, I think this will be cool. And there's still enough room here so that I can really use it also as a rally wheel without getting obstructed by the plate here. Same here, should be fine. Should be fine. So next step will be, yeah, take this and the aluminium. I think this should be, yeah, I can make this like this, or actually, this saves me some time. This exactly 15 centimeters wide, so good. Alright, this will be the next step. plate basically. This is the aluminium part. It's not super beautiful, but I can always go over it again, and of course the finish will be carbon fiber, so it doesn't really matter what you see here, these marks. That was a stupid idea, by the way, with that thing. It works, I mean, you can cut it, but not very precisely, and it bends in all sorts of directions, like this one here. Anyway, I got it. So next step will be cutting a piece of the same shape out of the carbon fiber sheet. Let's check it one more time here. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, looks good, I guess. One thing I'm still don't really know is if there is enough room between the plate and the wheel for the circuit board and the wiring. All the buttons basically will be around here and over here, so they don't interfere with the wheel itself, although except these things here, but they should, yeah, they have room enough, I think. Also, I will have to cut a couple of pieces out of the circuit board so that this really works. But there are areas which I can cut without any problems, I think. You can see here is important stuff. Here's nothing. So I can easily cut here and here. Doesn't have to be super stable, super rigid. On the other side it's a bit more tricky, but I don't think I will have to cut anything there. So the board will basically sit here like this. On the other side, of course, there's still enough room because up there will also be buttons. Yeah, that's cool. So let's go ahead. Okay, I messed up a bit, to be honest. This is certainly not the best tool for this. But it doesn't matter too much in the end, I guess. It almost fits perfectly, and after I glued these two parts together and the epoxy has cured, I'll just go over it with the Dremel again, the sides, and try to make it smooth and such. So I'm confident I will be able to fix this. I guess the finish will be quite nice, I think. Probably won't see this too good here. We'll see. Okay, next part, yeah, the gluey stuff, the sticky stuff. I'm a bit scared of the epoxy. I bought a ready, almost already mixed epoxy. I'll show you afterwards. It needs 60 to 90 minutes to cure, and I think 24 hours to fully cure. So I have a bit of time to apply it nicely and make sure there are no blisters and such. The only thing I'm not so sure about is, I'm pretty sure this is the way I have to do it. Apply the carbon fiber now and then do all the drilling first, because I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure I couldn't drill through this alone. I would just tear it apart, and cutting is also not an option, as you can see. It's not very precise. The good thing is it doesn't matter too much if the holes end up not being too smooth, because there's a bit of play, you know. With these buttons, for example, there is almost, I guess, 2 millimeters which get covered by the button itself. And check here. Yeah, there's not that much, but a little bit. Actually, there is a lot. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal, but I still think this is the better way. Make everything ready now and then drill through both layers. But this will mean I will have to mark on this side, because I don't think it's a good idea to drill from the other side. I guess then the carbon fiber could potentially tear up when the drill bit goes through. So we'll drill from this side. Yeah, but this is still in the future. So let's go. I'm back. In fact, I have decided differently. I won't do the epoxy stuff now. I will finish the plate itself, which actually won't be a plate only, but since I will mount it on top of the wheel, this would look strange here if the buttons will stick out here and everything. So I was planning from the beginning on that there would be sidewalls, so it's more like a case than actually a plate only. So we'll do these sidewalls also from aluminium. There it is. But it's a nice thinner sheet that I should be able to easily bend it to shape, and then I'll first I will cut it so that it. This will be interesting, by the way. Here and over here. We'll see. And then I will glue these sidewalls to the plate. And when that is cured, I will do all the other sheets basically. This will take some time, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. So that was really quite annoying. I'm still not extremely happy with the result, but I'll go for it. These are the sidewalls for the button plate. I will glue them to the front plate with epoxy, I guess. I should have bought the other one too, the 5-minute epoxy. I only have the one with the longer curing time, but I guess I'll be able to sort of fix it, and then it should be okay. We will see. I have never done this, so this will be a first. Let's do this. Alright, I really hope this will work. I'll let this cure for, I don't know, 2 hours or so, and then we'll see. Meanwhile, you have something to read here, so see you later.